I asked ChatGPT, let's say a large retail store was caught selling fake counterfeit designer purses. Once they were caught, could the company that sold the original handbag sue the other retail company for the proceeds they received from selling the fake counterfeit knockoffs? ChatGPT said, don't ask me, I ain't a lawyer. But if the retail store was selling counterfeit designer purses that bear the trademarks or copyrighted designs of other companies, without authorization, the legitimate brand owner could potentially sue for damages. These damages might include the profits made by the retail store from selling the fake goods. The legal process can vary depending on jurisdictions and the specific circumstances of the case. What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video, and the noose begins to tighten even more. And in this video, it's my purpose that when you walk away from this video, you're going to understand exactly what happened in Brazil with AMC shares, and tucked away in Al from Boston and Jordan's lawsuit is one page that tightens the noose around Adam Aaron's neck, because he knew what was going on, all right? Even though he claimed in this audio when he was talking to a shareholder, there are no synthetics. You're being ludicrous. You don't know what you're talking about, Robert. When the whole time, as Al shows in this Exhibit G, AMC knew what was going on. Let me pull it up and let's take a look at it, all right? This email is from John Merriweather. Jimmy, thank you for your email. AMC has not issued any additional shares, and we have not listed any stock on any foreign exchange. The number of issued and outstanding shares of AMC Class A common stock is 513,330,240. Merriweather goes on to say, it appears that a Brazilian stock exchange has added the ability for Brazilian investors to trade unsponsored Brazilian depository receipts under the symbol A2MC34. BDRs are certificates representing shares of a foreign company traded in Brazil. The shares of the foreign company, in this case AMC, are already legally issued, outstanding, and currently trading in the U.S. and are blocked in the account of the program's custodian institution. The custodian's institution is the DTCC. These BDRs are unsponsored by AMC, and we have no involvement in the listings of the BDRs. More information on BDRs can be found at B3, blah, blah, blah. The difference in outstanding shares as reported on the Brazilian exchange is simply a conversion rate calculation. 6 AMC BDRs equals 1 share of AMC Class A common stock. They have chosen to report the conversion on the shares rather than the foreign exchange rate of USD on the Brazilian real, whatever it is. That's the Brazilian dollar. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute, because also in his lawsuit, Al says this. Paragraph 94, when a BDR is unsponsored, it means that the BDR is issued without the direct involvement of the foreign company, in this case Citigroup's client AMC, whose shares it represents. Citigroup is the custodian of a reported 3.1 billion AMC BDRs. See Exhibit G, which we're looking at right now. Now, let me explain something, people, real quick. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Citigroup or any other global bank who is a depository bank, all right, to open up a position in Brazil, all right? It's the process that's important, and Citigroup went around. Let me explain the process to you, okay? They have 300,000 shares of AMC. Their analysts come to them and say, hey, you know, there's a pretty big demand for AMC shares over in Brazil. So Citigroup looks at their portfolio and goes, okay, let's take 100,000 shares of AMC and sell them in Brazil. Now, the process starts like this. First, they contact Brazil, then they contact the DTCC, and then what happens is the DTCC will remove 100,000 shares of AMC off of the American exchange, and they will now trade over on the Brazilian exchange. But you cannot sell the Brazilian shares of AMC until you remove them from the pool of the AMC shares here in America. Okay, so that's where the breakdown came in at first. Now let's turn our attention back to John Merriweather and what they had to say. AMC not issued any additional shares. We have not listed any stock on any foreign exchange. The number of issued and outstanding shares of AMC Class A common stock is 513,330,240. Now, in my example that I just gave you, if Citigroup wanted to sell AMC shares in Brazil, 100,000 shares of them, then they would lower the float here in America. Shares are not trading over here anymore. They're trading over there. That's how the process works. Question here is, Merriweather is trying to distance AMC from the Brazilian shares when he says these BDRs are unsponsored, which means we didn't have anything to do with them, by AMC, and we have no involvement in the listing of the BDRs. Here's the catch. For more information on BDRs can be found here, and then he goes on to say that it's 6-to-1 ratio over there in Brazil, and the exchange rate is done, and he understands it. He explains it to him. He's distancing himself and AMC from it, but then at the same time, he's acknowledging they exist. So, why didn't John Merriweather at that point go to Adam Aron, or did he, and tell Adam Aron, wait a minute, we got a problem. We've got 513 million shares trading over here in America, and you got 513 million shares trading over there in Brazil, and we didn't do it. The question should have been then by AMC, who was responsible. We now know it was Citigroup. So now you should completely understand how BDRs work over there in Brazil, how they get over here. What about the German ones Cowboy Clown wanted to know about? We're going to get to you some bitches later. However many shares are being traded in Germany, you're going to claw back that money and give it to the AMC shareholders, because like I shared with you in the beginning of this video, ChatGPT said, and I'll be working with ChatGPT on this, is Citigroup, however much money they made off of selling them counterfeit shares of our company, they owe us that money. All right? And then we get into the distinction of what happens if somebody that's working at this department store that knows that they're selling counterfeit handbags, what can be done to that person? They knew fraud existed, they did nothing about it, and they can be held accountable for it, people. And we may not get to them on the civil side with AMC, because I don't want to sue AMC, but once it comes out in the civil case, that opens the door for criminal, and somebody's going to go to jail, because you're not talking about stealing $100. All right, you're talking about stealing $50 to $80 billion and putting it in their pocket. That brings up the next question that I'm going to put in my lawsuit too, is did they pay taxes on that 50 to 80 billion that they made over there in Brazil? Because they made that money over there in Brazil. You didn't pay taxes on it, or did you? The case just keeps getting better and better, people. Now we can connect at least John Merriweather to the fact that he knew they were selling counterfeit shares of AMC in Brazil and in Germany and everywhere else, and did nothing about it. So, on the case, I've been slept a couple hours, took me a break, and I'm back on the case, typing my ass off, and I'll keep you updated on what I find. And with that, love you, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.